Hello, and this is my devlog for the game Chromapoint that me and my partner Eddie had worked on for our final project. So as you can see, I've got all of these tabs open. These are areas that I had worked in. So I'm just going to run through them real quick as to what I did. So as you can see here, we've got the third person character. Here's the HUD. I had a very small portion of this. I just kind of set it up so that it would play. The vast majority of that went to Eddie, so he can talk further on that when the time comes. This is the forward movement. This is what allows us to just keep endlessly running forward. Um, this is the gesture movement, and this took quite a lot. Um, so we've got some if conditions, sequence. Um, we also have the get player controllers and inputs for touch, since we were creating this as a iOS or Android, so a mobile platform game. We added this gesture in. Um, so we've got some checks, and once it gets down to here, it's checking to see which direction you go, and then it moves into uh, the directional movement of that. So as you can see, true will be moving left. So if you uh, click and move your mouse left, it'll activate there. If not, if you click and pull right, it'll go into the move right. And then down here, we have the jump, and down here we have the downward movement, which will cancel you out of a jump and bring you to the ground quicker. And then this is the what allows you to move from left to right. This is the your interpretation for moving things and a timeline so that it's smooth and not just a teleportation. Um, Here's our death function. So when you get hit, when you hit an obstacle, you will ragdoll and die. That's where this is. And then this is what Eddie put in. This he can talk a little bit further, but it's basically just a game over screen. So continuing on, we've got the third person game mode, and here it's solely just spawning the first tile. This first tile has nothing on it to keep you from spawning directly into obstacles. And then this for loop keeps an indefinite amount of 9 tiles in, like it spawns in 9, and then once this is activated, it'll spawn one and then delete the last one. So you always have 9 tiles on the map at all times. So here's the spawn first tile. So we're getting the new spawn point. We're spawning this, casting it to the tile. Um, then we're setting it where we want it to spawn. And it's the same thing with this. This is just the one that has obstacles on it. So here's the here's the master tile. Um, this is what is doing a lot of the work for us. Um, we've got it's getting the game mode. It's casting it to that third person game mode here and the third person character so that we can collect uh, information off of both of those. We spawn the tile. Um, this is casting it back to make sure that when you cross the collision, we can add points. Um, Here's another area. This is for when you're running across. This is the gradual speed up. So right now we have this set for a multiplier of 1.01, and then it will max out at 4 times of the normal running speed. So the normal running speed is 600, so the max is set for 2400. And then there's a delay, and we will delete the final actor. And then back over here is where the obstacles are spawning in, and here's that right here. So I'll give a brief overview of this because a lot of this is spawn waiting, and Eddie will talk on that. But here's our function. It's going through a if statement. That's all for the spawn waiting. This is the transform. So if it's in lane 0, we're gonna feed it a location, which is then going to spawn the correct uh, object, whether that be an obstacle or a coin or a power up. And that basically is just repeated for lanes 0, 1, and 2 the same idea. Eddie can talk a little bit further on that for the spawn waiting. So here's our pipe obstacle. This is a material that we had used from the store that I had edited to give us a little bit different look to it, which I will talk about right here. So the event graph, this is when it on overlap, we're gonna spawn to the character or cast to the character, and that's when you're gonna die. That's when you touch it, and then you have a delay, and then it pauses the game. So that's really all that one is. The magnet pickup, we're gonna on overlap. So once you pick it up, we're gonna cast to the third person character, and we're gonna set that the magnet is active, and then we set the visibility to be invisible. That was causing some trouble, but then we delay, and we cast to the third person character. We set that it is not active, and then we destroy that magnet actor, and this is what that magnet looks like. Here's the first tile. This is almost the exact code, if not the exact code. Yeah, it's the exact code as the master tile. It's just that there's no obstacles here. So that's the main difference between the first tile and the master tile. And here's what it looks like. Got our collision box here to set this being spawned. Here's our spawn point. This is moved out because we were getting overlap, so moving this out is allowing it to be right on that edge. And then these are our 3 lanes. So our coin pickup, this is on the overlap. This is going to let us tell if we have picked it up, and it'll add a point to our coin counter, and it also plays a sound. This one is for the magnet, so it allows it to move it in towards the player. So that's what this timeline is, and that allows it to, instead of teleporting to you, it'll drag it so it looks a little bit more natural. And then this is basically what's down here. Here's what that looks like. So there's the coin, and as you can see, there's a large circular collision box that allows us to capture this coin with the magnet from any point on the map. So if you're in lane 1, 2, or 0, you will be collecting these coins if you have the magnet pick up. The box obstacle is the same thing with the pipe one. This is basically just if you overlap it, we're going to cast that third person character and play that death function, and then pause the game after 1 second. And this is what that looks like. Now this material is a custom material that I made, which I will get into right now. So here's what we've got. This is that Tron box material. Put it to square so we can see a little better. So this is just our coordinate, and we mask it so that we have a horizontal and vertical, and then we make it so that we only have these in the very edges instead of like a very vast amount. So then the subtraction is taking off a lot of this haze, and then we're interpolating it back together to get one solid piece. This is the color, so right now it's red, but I could easily go in and make it green or blue, but we are sticking with the red because that makes it like a danger, don't touch it kind of a feel. So that's where we're at with that. This is the glow strength, so changing this will make it glow more or less. So if I go 250, or 150, should be half of it. So you can see it's a little bit dimmer than if we were to go to 10,000. It'll be very bright. So that is that material that I made. And then it just goes into the emissive color. And then our pipe material is, like I said, it's a material that we use from the store, which is actually our base for our tiles. I just went through and changed the color and made it go between two different amounts. So we've got 2500 and 1500. That's where that glow, where it's getting brighter and dimmer. That's what that is. So that's what all I changed in that. And then here is our normal material that we picked up. This is from the marketplace, and then I just went in here and changed those values. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna give you a quick little run through of the game. So that is our game. Thank you.